And hello everyone, welcome back to another CSS tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be talking about align. So let's say we have this little piece of text here. And one of the things you often hear web developers or designers complaining about is how difficult it is to center a div, to make this div in the center. Now, if you want to go old school, you could use the center HTML tag, which I didn't think is really supported or being supported anymore. I think it's deprecated. But you could use the center tag and I will center it for you, but that's HTML. If we're talking about CSS, then let's say we select this div, hashtag margin, and let's go border 1px solid black, padding 1 rem. Okay, so here we go. And let's make sure the width, just so we can see it, is 300 pixels. Let's make it 200. There we go. Now to center this div, what we can do is say margin auto. And that will automatically add margining to the left and to the right to center this div in the middle of the screen for us. And as easy as that, we have just centered a div. Let's say we want to center the text inside of this div. Then we can use text align center, and that will also center the text inside of this div, but it will not center the div itself, only the text. Now the same can be applied to images. So if we were to go here and say image, and here have an image.jpg, so image.jpg, save that, just go image, make the width 200 pixels. If we go display block, margin auto, then this image will also be centered on the screen. Cool. Now let's talk about, I'm just going to remove this and let's use this image as an example. Let's talk about positioning with alignment. So let's say we have let's go here, position and absolute. So we know what this does. Absolute. This makes sure that our image starts from here 0, 0, but we can use things such as top and go 20 pixels, and that will position it 20 pixels from the top. We'll do the same with left, right, top and bottom. You have all of these options you can change here to make this be at the perfect position for you. So that will align it to wherever you need it. So let's say top 60 pixels and then right. So from this side, 20 pixels, and that will be positioned the top right. You can also use a float for positioning. So we can just say float right, and I will be floating on the right of the screen. I want to show you something. Let's move this here and in this here. Now this margin here, I would like to just go here and move this image to before p tag, so it's right there, and then go margin border 1px solid black. You'll notice the border doesn't include the image. This is the flaw of using float. We can fix this by simply going margin after, and we already know what this does. So margin after, so after this has been added, we make the content nothing will happen. We say clear both, and this clears floating elements, so floating styles, and in display table. And now this here will include the image as well. So this is the clear fix hack when an element is taller than the containing div, because generally a div should auto size to the size it needs to be, but sometimes it fails, especially when you use things like float. Now let's quickly take a look at maybe centering this div here. So we just have this div, and this div is just 100 pixels. Now let's say we want to center it in the middle of the page. So we can say position absolute. then top 50%, bottom 50%. Then when we do this, and not bottom, I meant to say left. There we go. Then when we do this, we will see this. It is almost in the center, but not quite. Now, this is because this part here is the starting point of this div. So what we need to do is we need to take this starting point and make it the center of this div. To do that, we can use transform, translate, and we will also get deeper into what transform and translate does in a future tutorial. But by going -50% and in -50%, it is nicely centered. What is happening is this is the X. We take 50% of the width of this and we subtract it from the X axis, or from the X here, from the left. And that will make that this moves 50% closer, making it in the center of the middle. And in this does the same, but for the Y axis. Might be a little bit confusing now, but we will get into this in the future. And that is that. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all again in the next CSS tutorial.